This was her very first time live streaming without a bra, and boom, she instantly got a $10 tip. Then, as she applied her lipstick, another tip popped up on the screen, $25. Emma couldn't help but smile. She had just met a mysterious big spender. She waited, hoping he'd send more instructions so she could earn even more. Sure enough, the mystery man offered $50, asking Emma to put on a dress. Without a second thought, she agreed. Moments later, Emma came back on screen wearing a sexy red dress. The mystery man kept his word and tipped her another $50. Then, things escalated. He offered $100, but under one condition. For the next 20 minutes, Emma had to obey his every command. This time, she hesitated. She was afraid he might cross the line, so she said no. But then he raised the offer a whopping $1,000. Emma glanced at the overdue rent notice on her table and finally nodded in agreement. She set a 20-minute countdown and asked for the first task. To her surprise, his first request was for her to cry. Emma was confused, but tried to fake some tears anyway. That didn't cut it. He wanted real, genuine tears. Otherwise, the $1,000 would be off the table. Desperate, Emma came up with a drastic idea. She walked to the living room door, placed her hand on the frame, then suddenly slammed the door shut. The sharp pain hit her instantly, and tears finally rolled down her face. Only then was the man satisfied. Next, he told her to cut her hair. This time, Emma refused right away. It was way too much. But again, he raised the offer. Now, it was $2,000. Faced with that kind of money, Emma caved. She grabbed a fruit knife from the drawer, clutched a handful of hair, and began to cut. Chunks of her hair fell to the floor. But the 20 minutes still weren't up, and his demands kept getting worse. Emma looked defeated, but she didn't want all this effort to go to waste. She placed a hand on her shoulder and slowly pulled down her red strap. Just then, her phone chimed. Time was up. The 20-minute countdown hit 0. Emma let out a long breath, relieved the $2,000 hit her account. The man dropped another bomb. He offered $5,000 for just 20 more minutes. This time, Emma was done. She stood her ground and said no, but she didn't expect what happened next. A photo suddenly popped up on her screen, a screenshot from the live stream. Turns out the mystery man had been secretly recording everything. Emma freaked out and demanded he delete the photo, but he made a sickening threat. Either she continued the stream for another 20 minutes, or he'd send those photos to her friends and family. That was the last straw. Furious, Emma slammed her laptop shut. She thought it was finally over, until her phone started blowing up with calls and messages. Her friends and family really had received the photos. At that moment, Emma was filled with regret, unsure how she'd ever face them again.